I remember 2, 3 years old. My father was in burlesque, and we traveled from town to town. We traveled on the Eastern Wheel all over, from down by, not far, like maybe Baltimore, not far from here, up to Toronto. And they called that the Eastern Wheel. And we went everywhere by train. I'd be 2 or 3 years old, walking down the aisle of a railway car in the middle of the night, like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I can feel the train under my feet, and I love the feeling of that rumbling train. And the armrests were about eye level, and I'm watching the comics playing cards and drinking all night and laughing and gambling. And it was a long trip. They called it a 2-bottle jump. That's the way they kept track, you know. And there were the comics and the chorus girls and the strippers and talking women. The chorus girls had to get half naked, and the strippers got totally naked, but the talking women were the ones who could be in sketches. The comics said when the new woman would come into the company, they'd say, "Can she talk?" And if you could handle language, you worked in the sketches. So if you can handle language, you didn't have to take as many clothes off. It's like in life, you know. So I would stand in the wings like 5 or 6 shows a day, 2, 3, 4 years old, watching the burlesque shows, watching the comics. That was my first education in acting. When you're watching from the side like that, you really see the way they put on the show. You see the hidden tricks. Later in vaudeville, I used to watch Blackstone, the magician, and I saw where he hid the pigeons, you know, but from the front you can't see that. And it was the same thing watching the actors from the side. I could see where they hid their pigeons. And it was a tremendous education for me. And then watching the strippers, I mean that was an education that I didn't expect. I mean, it was a lot of guys say, "Oh, that's not a bad beginning," but it's a form of abuse, you know. I mean, a kid is not ready for that. But thank goodness my parents didn't know. They were kids, and they were kids at a time when people didn't talk about child development. Nobody knew what that was. They said, "Oh, he's a little boy. Well, he won't know any different." So I'm watching the chorus girls. The chorus girls used to take me up to their dressing room. They were so sweet to me. They mothered me. I was like their pet or their mascot. They'd comb my hair. They'd pat my cheek. You know, and then they'd say, "Okay, Allie, we have to change our clothes now. Turn your back." And I'd turn my back and I'd stand with my face against the wall, with my face in their silk costumes hanging on hooks, and I'd smell the sweat and the perfume, and behind me I'd hear them slipping on and off their silk costumes. I get excited just thinking about it. I'm not finished thinking about it. Okay.